Well, this is one of the most poignant tweets I've seen on Section 31. Michelle Yeoh was paid $12 million to be in this streaming movie that's coming out January 24th. Nobody wants this. Star Trek fans are just ashamed of the fact that this even exists. And it's absolutely crazy that they kept going forward with it. I've actually got information from the director from an interview as to like how much they actually pushed this and how crazy they just like were trying to force this to be a thing, even though nobody really wants this to be a thing. And Nerdrotic rightly points out that's the whole budget of Godzilla Minus One, which was a fantastic movie out of Japan. That entire budget went to one actress, and the only reason she's where she's at, because I don't even think Michelle Yeoh is really a great actress or anything. She just kind of sounds the same in everything she does. She's like a diversity hire. She is like the token Asian strong female lead woman that they try to push into everything. And that's exactly what Section 31 is going to be, and that's why it's going to fail again. It's doubling down on everything everybody hates about Star Trek. And guess what? They're not done yet. Kurtzman and the like are going to double down even further. We're going to get into this in just a moment. Please smash that like and subscribe button as we talk about all things science fiction. I'm a big Star Trek fan from way back since my youth, my friends. And I am a science fiction writer myself. John Delarose. I've got a ton of books on Amazon you can check out in the description below. But I'd like you to sign up for my newsletter because I'm actually coming out with a trilogy of books in this coming year, 2025, that is going to be about space exploration, going out to distant worlds and actually doing what Star Trek's supposed to do. While Section 31's like the opposite, we're going to have real heroes out there actually adventuring, just like Planet of the Week, just like the original series in Star Trek The Next Generation were. I'm so excited. This is the most fun I've ever had writing, and I want you to be on board with it. So when you join my newsletter, you get 3 free books from me right away, and this is a fantasy novel, a science fiction novel, and a full superhero graphic novel, 66 pages, where I have a great superhero story that begins. And there's actually five volumes of that you can follow along with. So you can check out my writing, get involved, and of course, be here in connection with me. So like when I release these new books, you can be ready for them. Really appreciate you guys for being there. Sign up in the description below, and thank you so much. So here we are. Section 31's director implies there may be more woke Star Trek streaming films on the way. Sky's the limit with what we can do. Yay. So this is coming out January 24th, but they're already dreaming of more. They want to change this whole franchise now because they know the series aren't working to this like kind of format right here. So Paramount already seems to be bracing for failure with the forthcoming Star Trek streaming movie, Section 31, but the director gave an interview implying more streaming movies like this will be coming. Alex Kurtzman has turned Star Trek into something completely unrecognizable from his previous form. With Discovery, Lower Decks, and Picard, fans don't see an optimistic future of human exceptionalism, seeking out new life and new civilizations. The shows explore strange new genders more than they explore strange new worlds. As a result, ratings for Discovery proved to be very low, resulting in its cancellation after a 5th season, even though they plan to go 7. Despite this, the powers that be at Star Trek are taking Michelle Yeoh's Mirror Universe character from Discovery and giving her a film with Section 31. The trailer promised a dark, gritty Star Trek, which we've seen before and fans have rejected. Most fans don't want to see Section 31 outside of Deep Space Nine. Its presentation failed to resonate with viewers. Now, Section 31 as a concept, it was wishy-washy in Deep Space Nine. If you recall, it was in just a couple of episodes. There's this character named Sloan who is manipulating Julian Bashir into doing black ops for him, basically. And it's questionable whether Sloan actually has an organization or whether it's just a delusion of his to begin with. It was a very interesting thing. As like that one episode basically, but it definitely didn't need to be something that was like this like dark underbelly of Starfleet like going forward that's existed all the way back to Discovery. It was really annoying when they brought it forward in Star Trek Discovery. It didn't fit the show. It didn't fit anything that Star Trek's about. It doesn't fit anything that Starfleet's about, and viewers really hated it. Now, despite this, they really wanted Michelle Yeoh to have her own show, and of course in Discovery, they announced her as the captain to start because she's the strongest femalist lead there is, before they brought in Michael Burnham, who's even stronger and femaler, the Mary Sue herself. And so they just love to just push Michelle Yeoh on everybody. And so she eventually came back as a mirror universe version of herself who's evil. And that's who Starfleet brings in to run this shady organization. Now it gets even sillier. It was so in Deep Space Nine era, 100 years later, it's rumored not to even exist because they don't know. Nobody has any record of it. It's all just completely hush hush. There's no anything out there of it. Now, in this trailer, they're actually running around with like their own specialized comm badges and starships and stuff like that. It pretty clearly, obviously, easily exists, and everybody can see it out in the open. So it is stupid just on its concept. It just flies in the face of the lore from Deep Space Nine already. And of course, the Michelle Yeoh thing is completely insufferable, as we know. Now, it's getting ratioed pretty hard on its trailer right here, as you can see as of a couple days ago. We've got fans rejecting this soundly, and if you go into the comments, all they do is savage the trailer here. Now, what is interesting about this is that they didn't want it to be a streaming movie to begin with. They actually wanted a full TV series spin-off, just like Starfleet Academy. And I feel like they've just been circulating the same ideas over and over again. They've been trying to get a Starfleet Academy show going since Brandon Braga back in the Next Generation days. He wanted it to be kind of like a Melrose Place kind of situation because that's where he came from. And it's just cringy. Like, nobody wants that out of Star Trek. So, of course, now they're doing it, and they're resurrecting that idea, and they're making something nobody wants again, which is spinning it out of Discovery. So it's going to take place in the Discovery era and feature characters from Discovery as like a soft continuation of that show. So this is, again, another soft continuation of that show. And they meant it to be a whole TV series. Now, it had to be rewritten multiple times because of this. Now, listen to what the director said. It has been retooled so much, the two stories are completely unrecognizable. Now, this immediately is a red flag. If you know much about writers' rooms and how the writing of stories works, when you're retooling stuff and having different writers keeping doing it and doing a bunch of different drafts and things like that, and look at this. It's been this situation to have written 7 different iterations of this. When I say 7 different iterations, the first was 6 episodes of the first season of Section 31. The second was 5 episodes of Section 31, which were completely different than the previous iteration. Then the 4th, 5th, and 6th were multiple pilots that were outlines. Then we had the movie. Then the movie itself went through a couple of iterations. So you can see in the level that they're distilling this, that it's going to be just a completely disorganized cluster, because that's what happens when these stories are manipulated at this level. It never works out really well when they're trying to just force something into, like, from a episodic thing into a movie type of format. Very, very ugly stuff. And this is exactly the rewrite sort of thing that's happened on Disney Plus shows. The Obi-Wan show did quite the opposite, actually. It took what was supposed to be a Obi-Wan prequel movie and then actually changed it into a multi-episode series, so it expanded it out. And it was a cluster. So when things are designed in a certain format and you try to twist them into another format, never works out well. More bad ideas for the show. However, this is where it goes crazy. Hopefully fans love Section 31 and love this format. Now, I could already tell you, fans have already rejected this format and Section 31 right off the bat, so I don't know where this is coming from. They are able to continue this format with other stories and expand the universe so much faster. Now, this is something that we don't want. We don't want these little tertiary characters from Discovery all getting their own shows. This would be a terrible idea. And even just doing this one is a terrible idea. It's going to flop horribly. But here it is. It doesn't all have to be television series. It can be one pop, one pop, one pop. If the audience and fans, they love it, the sky's the limit for what we can do. So these people already are trying to plan more spin-offs, trying to get this going even further. They want this to be a full series. They want more Section 31 stuff right away that fans don't want. I think I might get into a bit of trouble if I expand upon that. Now, listen to this. This is where he's implying they're already developing more TV movie spin-offs of these characters that you don't like. Because why would he get into trouble if they weren't developing that? If he's expanding on it, that means there's something there behind the scenes that Kurtzman and company are trying to do. They are trying to force this whole vision of Star Trek on the fans, and the fans don't want it. And we covered it the other day with the actor from Section 31. Go watch that video if you've not seen it, Kaczynski, where he talked about how this is not Trek, how fans are not going to want this. Like, they know this is not what fans want, and yet they're trying to produce more of it anyway. It's such a bizarre tactic. I don't know what their end game is here, other than to just totally torch the Star Trek franchise, which they've already done, but it only gets worse every single time. I think as long as there's love from the audience, there's incredible fertile ground that was laid with Section 31 to continue to grow the franchise and grow the world. The doors open. Oh boy. Now, what Kaczynski said, as I said before, he said, "I'm terrified on how it's going to be received because it's not the Trek people want." Immediately, these people know it's not the Trek people want. It's not the Trek people ask for. And yet, for some reason, they're just going forward. This is their agenda fully. They just hate Star Trek, apparently. They want it to be something it's not, and they want to go forward. And it looks like there's more movies in development based on what the director said here. Like I said, he says he can get into trouble if he's talking about it. This is what they're trying to do. Let's just hope Section 31 fails miserably. It will. in my opinion. And that way, maybe this stuff will go away and we can maybe make Star Trek great again. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to sign up for my newsletter. Don't miss my trilogy of space exploration that's going to come out later this year. Connect with me, guys. Get 3 free books for doing so. I appreciate all my fans for being there. You guys are amazing, and thank you for reading the books and reading science fiction. You guys are what keep us going, and we'll be back soon.